All right, today I am looking at a promo poster for Star Wars The Clone Wars magazine, which at the time this was issued had not yet been published. This was advertising the first issue, October 5th, dietmagazines.com, copyright date 2010. On the reverse side, by the way, advertisement for another Star Wars magazine by Titan, Star Wars Insider, specifically the 30th anniversary issue of Empire Strikes Back. This was from Star Wars Celebration 5 in 2010, Orlando, Florida, from the Titan booth. The theme of Star Wars Celebration 5 was the 30th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, which is one reason why they highlighted that issue on the back cover. But the reason why I wanted to highlight this today is not necessarily to talk about the Clone Wars or the Clone Wars magazine or Ahsoka as a character. It's actually to talk about a really unique challenge that EU fans face when it comes to shows and characters that are in both canons, both the EU and now the new Disney canon. Whenever someone like Ahsoka appears in some new Disney content, those fans go nuts and they rush over to the secondary market like eBay and they gobble up all this stuff. This poster, which for 10, 11 years just basically had died from most people's historical memory, lived in the total darkness, right? Total obscurity. Most people probably threw it away if they even picked it up at all, right? Now it's everywhere, and I've seen it go recently for as much as $100. I've seen it's crazy. There's clearly one guy out there, and I know this because I check multiple times a day for every possible key term related to Star Wars collectibles. So I've gotten to know the landscape pretty well and who most of the sellers are, and even some of the buyers, you know. And there is some guy who, maybe he worked for Titan, I don't know, but he must have 100 of these things, and he is selling them for crazy amounts of money. If you're lucky, you can maybe get away, pick one up for 50 bucks or something. Now, none of these prices are worth it. I mean, this thing was given away for free, right? You know, I mean, in an era in which Ahsoka isn't constantly appearing in new canon stuff, driving tons of demand for this from like new canon fans, you know, it's maybe worth $5 plus shipping, right? But it is going for extremely absurd rates. But again, this is one of the unique challenges of this phenomenon, right? So it's like when Boba Fett appears in Mandalorian or Ahsoka or something, or anything related to the EU, fans of the new canon side, who many of whom aren't totally sort of like aware of what happened in 2014 with like the sort of the fork in the road continuity wise, they just want to see more images and collectibles with their favorite characters' faces on it, right? They don't care. So they rush over and they gobble this stuff up, right? So again, there's still some absurdly expensive EU stories and books and comics and collectibles that are really, really out of reach for the average fan because they're getting gobbled up by fans of the new canon, right? Who love their Clone Wars, who love their Ahsoka, and so on and so forth, right? I mean, I even remember this weird speculator market when there was like this rumor that Tag and Bank, who were like Infinity's characters within the EU, were going to appear as like a cameo appearance in the Solo movie. And I don't know if that ever happened or not, but there was like an insane speculator market on a comic that no one in the EU even really cared about. You know, Marvel even went as far as to sort of republish it, and like the sort of like the whole Tag and Bank series, and it was like no one cared, right? No one cared, except for these new canon fans who were rushing over to pick this sort of stuff up. But this is just another funny case where it's like, I don't know how many people watching this video really care about the Clone Wars magazine or Ahsoka or the Clone Wars show itself or promo poster collections, right? But it's an interesting example of just what happens when these characters unfortunately appear on the new stuff, right? The double-edged sword is that, great, they're rushing over to buy EU things. That becomes an opportunity to talk to them about what the EU is, right? On the other hand, it just makes it really hard sometimes to just pick up the collectibles and the stories and stuff you just want to read, right? You know, and you want to read them for the right reasons, right? Not because you just want to plaster your wall with this stuff, or because in many cases you're a speculator just trying to flip this, whatever, but because you just like this stuff, right? You know, so interesting sort of problem, interesting challenge. I guarantee you right now, if you go on eBay and you Google this thing, you know, Star Wars Clone Wars magazine promo poster 2010, you're gonna find some in a way that for the last decade you would never have in your life had a chance at finding this thing, right? No one cared enough about this to post it. It wasn't worth the time. Now people are posting it because they're getting like anywhere from like 50 to 100 bucks for this thing, and that is just crazy. But again, here's the paradox: if you wait too long, the Ahsoka fans are going to go away, And so are the sellers, right? They're going to say, that's not worth it. I'll save the fee. You know what I mean? I'll put it back in the trash bin where it belongs. So anyway, man, in the context of my promo poster collection, it's a fun one because how many promo posters are there really for magazines and things like that, right? And yet, again, from a perspective of these, these people driving up our prices, new canon side, you really can't find sort of a better example. So happy hunting.